what's up you guys, it's Dorothy, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go into, chapter 4 of The Women of the Bible Speak by Shannon Bream. This chapter includes the stories of Deborah and Jael, the women of Valor, however you want to pronounce it. So let's get right into this video. This video is going to contain topics about the Bible. If you do not wish to listen to the topics of the Bible or hear me speak about the topics of the Bible, you have every right to click off the video now. You have been warned. Deborah, Judges 4:1 and 5:31. The book of Judges is a challenging one, in part because it shows the reality of God's children wandering away from his truths, from his promises. It's a hard book to digest because up until now, we've already seen such amazing victories and blessings. God provided a way for the Israelites to conquer and enter their promised land. He knocked down the walls of Jericho before them. He gave them their share of the land flowing with milk and honey. He renewed his covenant with them forever, and they swore to follow him and his laws to the end of time and beyond. Wouldn't it be nice to end the story there, to witness the people of Israel remaining as devoted to God as they had been in the joyous time following the Exodus, or as they were at the moment of their triumph at Jericho? But the story of the people of Israel is also our story, and we know that our spiritual lives don't work that way. It's simply not possible to live all of our days in the space of those mountaintop moments. As the daily demands of life press in on all sides, we can forget just how closely we walked with God in the midst of our toughest challenges, how faithful he has always been, and how we need to cling to his integrity and his promises. The world is constantly trying to lure us away with something else, with temporary fixes that take our eyes off God's steady goodness. Let's face it, just like the Israelites, we're all guilty of becoming untethered from the one who has always been and always will be. The book of Judges is the account of that wandering, the story of how Israel had all the gifts God could possibly give. It squandered them. It's also a reminder that God was always there, always giving the Israelites chances to come back, always showing them the path home. Just as he does for us today, each time the people strayed and wound up being oppressed at the hands of their enemies, God provided a judge to give them leadership and guidance, to point them toward repentance and deliverance. Whenever the Lord raised up a judge for them, he was with the judge and saved them out of the hands of their enemies as long as the judge lived. For the Lord relented because of their groaning under those who opposed and afflicted them. Judges 2:18. One of the guiding stars God offers his people in the book of Judges is his prophet's Deborah. I have to tell you, she's one of my favorites. For me, the words of her story leap off the pages of my Bible. I find her brave and inspiring, and I'm pretty sure I would have followed her into battle. This was a woman with guts and wisdom, a role model for all ages. In the pages of the Bible, we see women playing all sorts of roles and living rich, complex lives, but it's not often that we see a woman as a war leader, much less as the sole authority of an entire nation. Deborah took up the mantle of the governance and led her nation to victory in the midst of some very dark days. Her name means bee, and how appropriate. She stung her enemies but brought sweetness and refreshment like honey to her people. When we meet Deborah, the people of Israel are under the thumb of Jaban, one of the Canaanite kings. Jaban's top military commander, Sisera, had 900 chariots of iron, which means he outmatched the children of Israel militarily by a mile. It wasn't even close. A word about all chariots. For a people in the remote hill country of Israel, acquiring the materials to build chariots would have required trade. The metal and skill needed to make sturdy war chariot would have meant their trading with one of the bigger powers, Egypt or Syria, or even local kingdoms like Moab and Edom. Chariots, like the horses necessary to drive them, implied wealth and connection with the great cities. Israel didn't have either of those, so the thought of Israel going into battle against a heavily fortified force like Jaban's would have seemed ludicrous. That's the context in which Deborah arose. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidith, was judging Israel at the time. She used to sit under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people of Israel came up to her for judgment. Judges 4:4-5. The office of judge required more than just handing down of pronouncements. The legal disputes at the time, it was viewed as a spiritual role as well, and most certainly a position of leadership. The people would have come to Deborah for the settlement of any difficult questions or cases, probably everything from property disputes to homicides. I'm going to leave it off right there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sorry, I have my mom calling me, so I need to answer that.